Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the fire signs Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius and their twin flame connection. Twins, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Twins, I hope that you're doing well. If you're here as a cross watcher or somebody here that just wants to listen to a general message, then welcome. If you are here and you're not sure what a twin flame connection is, the twin flame journey, I've included a link to Gabi Kovalenko's full-length video on the twin flame journey. She just does such a beautiful and comprehensive job. In a nutshell, the twin flame journey is about two people who share the same energetic soul. So one soul in two people, shared by two people. There's usually a runner-chaser dynamic, and often those polarities can flip, and there's a separation period. And the separation period can last weeks, months, years, decades. It depends on the people involved and their choice of whether or not they take the journey. So during that separation period, the idea is that twin flames go through a spiritual ascension, a spiritual awakening. They discover their spiritual gifts and ultimately use those gifts to raise the vibration of humanity. So I always like to say that it's very tall order that twins are tasked with. It's their twin flame mission to raise the vibration of humanity, and there are more twins that have been activated in this lifetime than in any other, which would make sense given the state of the world right now. That if we can help ourselves to discover and feel like our most authentic selves, and we can incite and inspire that in other people, how can the world not become better, right? So I'm using two decks for your reading today, twins. The first one is the Soul Coaching deck by Denise Lynn, brand new deck to my channel, as well as this one, the Unveiled Tarot by Jesse Lonergan. So the cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their twin flame connection. Angels, spirits, guides, what messages do you have for the twins? The first two cards that I'm going to show you will be your energy. The second two will be your twins. The third two will be the connection, and the fourth set will be your advice from spirit. Much like the water sign reading, I am feeling energy on the right side of my head. I think your spirit guides have entered the chat. They're muting my ear. I don't feel any ear ringing right now. But when they mute my ear, it's as if they want to alert me to their presence. Okay, an extra card came out, so I will use that for your overall energy. 4 cards on the table, 4 more for clarifier. And again, 2 cards extra came out. You got a lot of cards on the table. I'll take them. The first card for the overall energy, number 5, which which corresponds to the Hierophant card in the Major Arcana. That's Taurus energy. And the card is Awakening. Isn't that something? So maybe you are brand new to this whole concept of the twin flame journey. Maybe you have just met your twin and you're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Maybe you've already known your twin for a while and you yourself are having the spiritual awakening, but whatever it is, somebody is out of some kind of spiritual slumber. Things are starting to feel grand and perhaps a little overwhelming. Beautiful though. Beautiful. Okay. Sorry, I started to feel some energy on this side of my head. Overwhelming is the word that I was using when I felt that presence. This sense that there's so much to discover, right? And I just want to point out one of the candles that I had lit went out. It was on its last leg, but timing is everything, right? I have another one right here. I always burn two to honor my twin flame connection. Maybe there has been a part of you that has felt that this connection has been lost. It can never be severed. Your twin flame is your twin flame is your twin flame forever. You don't have to take the journey with them in this lifetime, but you cannot sever the cord with your twin. You can merely sever the cord within yourself to say, I'm not dealing with this anymore, which is perfectly fine. Because if you're not willing to take the journey and your twin isn't either, then you can live out the rest of your life, find a beautiful soulmate to be with, soul tribe members, and have a massively fulfilling life. But there is only one twin, and there's only one person that will understand your heart in the way, the unique way that the twin flame does. Having said that, though, it's nothing to fear by understanding that fact. It's kind of cool, actually, sometimes when you think about the twin flame connection, even if your twin is driving you nuts, if they're just not understanding you on the earthly plane, it is kind of cool to think that there is another person out there who is linked to me so uniquely. And even if that person is not by my side in this moment, they are with me at all times energetically. And it can really trip you up. Honestly, it can. But when you get to this place of awakening, when you also realize how beautiful and special you are, there's this like calm that can happen. It's taken me years to discover this. I've been in separation from my twin for like 6.5 years. It's taken me a long time to discover this, but sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Like yesterday, I'll give you an example. I was walking back from the grocery store. It was at night, and I was carrying these bags and thinking, you know, it'd be nice to have somebody to help me out. And then I was thinking of my twin in that moment. And I was met with, like, you know, that punch to the gut, to the heart of missing him. And I literally looked over in the parking lot of this grocery store. I looked over and the license plate said, God bless. The actual license plate, not a bumper sticker. It was missing one S because it only fits so many, but it said, God bless. And it was almost like, I remembered how protected I am. I remembered that Spirit is with me at all times. I remembered myself. I remembered how blessed I am. So, in a way, it was almost as if my twin was sending me that from the 5D, that message. Now, maybe you haven't experienced something like that, or maybe you experience things like that all the time. I don't know. All I do know is that there's some revelation that you've had that is absolutely beautiful. It is joined by the 2 extra cards that came out, the Hierophant card in reverse and the 6 of Wands in reverse. Now, what's interesting, right? This is a 5 and this is the 5. You can see here, the Unveiled Tarot is such a unique deck because it shows you that window into everything, that we can look at this as some kind of kind of pope of organized religion. And then we can see that figure there that feels very kind of shaman-like, right? Another kind of spiritual leader. Six of Wands, usually the card that represents victory, public recognitions, accolades. These two cards are in reverse. So it's kind of like saying that there's this understanding, there's a quietness, right? Like we're having the victory internally by ourselves. So this is, if this is all about publicity, being in the public, this is all about being on our own and recognizing things on our own, quietly, internally. And maybe, I think for some of you, it's kind of difficult, right? And I said this in the water sign reading, that it can be really difficult to be on the twin flame journey and be around people that don't understand the twin flame journey. Like, if you're a twin flame, which I'm assuming you are if you're at this reading, have you ever tried to explain it to somebody who is not a twin? They don't get it. They can't get it. And then they just say, well, you know, there are other fish in the sea. There are other people out there. It's like, sure, that's true. But they don't understand the depth of the twin flame connection. They might understand beautiful love, but they don't understand the twin flame connection. So it can be difficult. So that's why it feels very insular. But it feels like a breakthrough nonetheless. And I'm really proud of you if this is your energy. This feels good. This feels like a breakthrough. I see Ace of Swords, clarity, epiphany. You know, and it's a departure from perhaps an organized religious standpoint. That's just for some. Take it as it resonates. But I think it resonates. The first card you have, the first two cards I'm going to show you are your energy, but feel free to flip them with your twin's energy, which is coming up, because twin flames often mirror one another. You got number 21, flow. This corresponds to, 21 corresponds to the world card of the major arcana. Closing out chapters, opening up new chapters. And this is exactly what I'm feeling for your energy right now, twins. You got a lot of watery feelings. So, you know, for a fire sign, you're getting a lot of water. Water here, and as the clarifier, the Queen of Cups, water here, Cancer energy. So, stunningly beautiful. Whoever I'm talking to has really had this breakthrough. And you're tapping into your emotions. You're tapping into your feelings. What is it that you're actually feeling about this connection, about this journey, about yourself? This feels really self-possessed, mature, expansive, enlightened. Good for you, fire signs. Good for you. This feels great. I feel optimistic, right? I feel like, oh, so Spirit just showed me like thumb. Like, maybe part of you has felt like you've been under the thumb of the twin flame journey. I don't actually know where that expression comes from. But I think you're looking at the journey as something different now. It's almost like, all right, if I'm going to go through this, how can I make it work for me? How can I make it work for me? Because my twin is off doing their own thing. And you know what? I'm going to let them figure it out. That's for them to figure out. I love them unconditionally. Great. You go over there and you figure yourself out. I'm going to focus on me right now. And you focusing on you might mean opening up your beautiful heart, allowing those emotions to flow to your soul tribe, right? You focus on you by giving back to your community or what have you. That's just an example. Maybe this flow is part of your creativity. You're feeling inspired, you're feeling joyful, you're feeling like everything in the world is causing you to kind of want to express yourself in a very unique and exciting way. So you're embodying this energy right now. It's really great. It feels really progressive too. Like you're like getting somewhere, right? And you only need to go anywhere where you feel is appropriate for you, but like I feel like you feel like you're making strides. I feel like, yeah, I'm making strides. I'm really advancing in my career. I'm really advancing in all those projects. I feel really happy with how things are going because I'm working hard. I'm focusing my energy towards my endeavors. One card, please, Spirit, to clarify for the fire signs. Okay. Yes. You see? You see? Ace of Swords. Amazing. Thank you, Spirit. Wow. What a synchronicity. What a confirmation. I can't believe it. See, it shouldn't surprise me anymore, but it always does surprise me when Spirit blesses me with such synchronous things in a reading. The epiphany, the clarity, breaking through the clouds, the fog, the crown chakra opened, understanding all the information. It's making sense. It's making sense. Standing tall and proud and realizing what we've been through and using it to our advantage. The Swords energy is air energy, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Very strategic mind. Okay, I understand how the twin flame journey works. Essentially, I gotta work on me. And if I can learn to love my twin unconditionally, great. Why? Because it just means I love myself unconditionally. And that's pretty awesome too. So how can I make this work for me? How can I focus all this beautiful energy and honor myself, my twin, and the connection, the sacred connection? I think you're really figuring it out. It's really awesome. Okay, so Spirit wanted me to look at this. Like Weeping Willow. Weeping Willow. It's like you've cried enough tears. You've cried enough tears, and it's not all is in vain. It's kind of how Spirit wanted me to say it. It's just like they wanted me to acknowledge for a moment what it took for you to get into this energy in the first place. There was a lot of tears, but they pooled into something that you can use. You're using your emotions in a way that makes sense for you. Thank you, Spirit. So moving on to your twins energy. They got number 19, which corresponds to the Sun card in the Major Arcana. That's the best card in the tarot. It's inferred here, and the word is essence. Now I want to show you, right, like this goldfish or koi fish, whatever. It's not actually in water, which I think is so fascinating about this card, essence. So I think your twin is feeling a little, they're not in the same place as you right now, in the sense that they don't feel comfortable in their own skin yet. They don't feel that they truly understand the connection in the way that you do. And you can't make them. There's nothing that you can say or do to make somebody else understand their part in the connection. They have to come to it on their own. I mean, you can talk to them about it, but it's so strange to describe it even to other twins, because it's like, it's such an insular journey, and yet you're experiencing it so intimately with another human being. It's very strange. All of a sudden, I just got this whiff of marijuana. I think my window is slightly ajar, and I think somebody just passed underneath my window. It is very, very potent. It's almost like making me feel like I'm gonna get a contact eye. Holy crap. It's almost like somebody is smoking in my room, but there's nobody else in my room. So if you're doing a little something, I mean, enjoy. But maybe this is your twins' energy. Maybe they're using substances to try and lessen the impact of how awkward they feel, because this is essentially a fish out of water. Out of their depth. Yeah, they could be, that smell is very strong. They could be using substances to, that's not for all, but Spirit is making it abundantly clear to me that it is for some. They're fish out of water. But they understand that there's something special about you, but they can't grasp it fully, and it makes them feel out of control. The Emperor card in the reverse. Number 4 of the major arcana, Aries energy. Aries, you showed up in your own reading. The Emperor card represents the power of all 4 kings of the tarot. Right? Somebody who utilizes the power of all 4 kings to rule an empire, to run a business, to be the boss, right? And it doesn't have to apply to a man. It's just divine masculine energy. But as we can see here, do they feel larger than life, or do they feel teeny tiny and small? The card thank you, Spirit. The card in reverse, this card in reverse specifically means somebody who feels like they have lost their sense of control. I mean, it doesn't mean that things, because I do see the number 19 again with the Sun card. It doesn't mean that on the surface, right? On the surface, things could be going great. Everybody could look at them as a leader, strong-willed, powerful, blah, blah, blah. But this is how they feel on the inside. Can I get a clarifier, please, for fire signs twin? Why do they feel like a fish out of water? Yikes. It's a pretty brutal card. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords, dissection, picking things apart. The 8 of Swords is, I'm just going to cover this up because it's kind of brutal looking. Analysis paralysis. That's the 8 of Swords. Just because I said, why do they feel like a fish out of water? Because they're way overthinking everything. They could be going over all of your past conversations, all of your text messages, all of the moments where they should have said something and didn't say something. Maybe they're, they've written something to you that they haven't sent, or they have so many thoughts in their head, but they can't articulate them clearly. They feel kind of lost and exposed. The twin flame journey makes them feel vulnerable. So now I understand. They're vulnerable. Really vulnerable. Truly. And they could have like they could have a lot of authority like in their waking life. Like people could look to them as like a thought leader or leader of some kind. But on the inside, they kind of feel like everything is on display. even if it's only just to you. It's like you can see the insides. Now, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, I want to caution you. I mean, you do you, but I want to caution you to be cognizant of the fact that you can see somebody's weakness, but you don't have to use it against them. So I'm just going to leave that there. For the connection, number 13, which corresponds to the death card, Scorpio energy in the major arcana. The word is courage. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because you have such gorgeous energy over here. Your twins' energy is kind of full of confusion and strife. So for both of you to want to take this journey, it's going to take a lot. It's like overcoming a lot of hurdles. It's like going directly into the storm, and you can see this kind of Loch Ness kind of creature here. Spirit just said the twin flame journey is not for the weak. They just said that. The twin flame journey is not for the weak. Oh, Spirit just said, imagine dragons. Like that band. Maybe you like that band. Maybe your twin likes that band. And then they're singing that song Radioactive. Welcome to the new age. I can't hear the rest of the song really, but it's just welcome to the new age. They're just saying welcome to the new age. It's not for the weak. It's clarified by the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles can talk about holding on very tightly to our information, our secrets, our finances, our opportunities, our influences, holding on very tightly. I mean, it feels kind of like this energy. You've got this bigger figure and then somebody smaller on the inside, right? You've got this card in reverse. So it's kind of like saying, it's so strange. You didn't get this card in reverse. You got it in the upright, but I just said you got it in the reverse. Spirit wants me to show it to you in the reverse. It did come out in the upright. It was almost like I didn't even realize that I'd said it. It was like Spirit channeled it. You did get the card, it flipped in the upright, but Spirit wants me to show it to you in the reverse. Opening up the heart chakra, the solar plexus. Thank you. Spirit just fluctuated the sound in my ears, so they're acknowledging that. Opening up to your own courage, like reinforcing for you that you're strong enough for this journey. Even if you don't ever see your twin again, you're strong enough for the journey. You're strong enough for the spiritual awakening, the ascension, the impact of what it means to fully love yourself and the impact that has on the world. Which, thank you, which is the whole point. It's the whole point of this. It's interesting. There's a guy that was like jogging, then he stopped for a moment, and then he kind of came down on his haunches, and then he started sprinting, like down the street. So that's kind of like that. It's like you're taking a moment to pause, to kind of recenter yourself, reorient yourself, so that you can make this kind of great leap forward. It's courageously, because now it's the Death card, which is endings bringing new beginnings. But now I'm kind of seeing the Fool energy, making the great leap of faith. Can I please have a clarifier for the connection? Aha, the devil in reverse. Interesting. Number 15, Capricorn energy. The devil in reverse. The devil traps the lovers. Right? The devil energy. For the longest time, when I began reading tarot and I started to get better at it, I can't really pull cards for myself anymore. They don't make sense. I can read tarot for other people all the live long day. But when I start to pull cards for myself, I'm like, don't get it, confused. But in the beginning, when I would pull cards for myself and I would ask, of course, because who wouldn't? Of course, I was asking about my twin. Man, this devil card would show up all the time for me. All the time. To the point where I could feel where the card was in the deck. I could feel the devil's presence in the deck. The devil, all about codependency, toxic behavior, workaholism, all that stuff, all of it. And you got this card in reverse. So it's kind of like the courage to face down this energy. The courage to say, you know what, I don't have to be codependent on my twin anymore. When I understand that they're always a part of me and I'm a part of them, there's no separateness. There's no separation. It's an illusion. But the devil energy keeps you trapped into thinking that your twin is something to long for when your twin is with you the whole time. It's difficult energy. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's advice number 2, which corresponds to the High Priestess card in the Major Arcana. High Priestess, Pisces energy. All about psychicness and otherworldliness. One foot in this world, one foot in the next. Spirit's advice, acceptance. Kind of King of the World energy, that reference from Titanic, the movie Titanic. This embracing, right? We're coming full circle from the beginning of the reading. Awakening and acceptance. This embrace, wow. It's almost like, it's like you and your twin in the 5D kind of looking at each other like this. Because now Spirit said the word embrace. It's like you both call out to each other in the 5D and meet in the 5D where you are the same. It's really beautiful. King of Cups in reverse, though. To clarify it, Scorpio energy. You got Scorpio energy a couple times in this reading. King of Cups, Queen of Cups in the same reading. This is a divine partnership. So when the King of Cups is in the upright, right, we're keeping our emotions kind of under wraps. Everything looks hunky-dory on the outside, perfect even, but on the inside there could be these turbulent emotions. But Spirit is saying, as you start to step into this energy, just become more and more and more in touch with what you're feeling, what you're sensing, what you're intuiting, right? Cups energy, water signs, all about the intuition. Be comfortable. Like, you got a lot of water energy, like I was talking about. It continues with your advice from Spirit. Keep going along that path, getting more and more in touch with what you feel, because then you can be in the space of calm, and that's what we're ultimately going for. Because when we're in a space of calm, we can see things very clearly. That's your reading, fire signs. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, twins.